Okay, so tonight I was kind of back and forth on what topic to talk about because I'm always like, okay, what else can I possibly say that I haven't said already? And I was just kind of scrolling through other training videos and I decided that I want to talk a little bit about, and this is going to be a short call, but I want to talk about time management because I really think that if you're not growing, if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not growing your business, it's a matter of you're not being consistent. And if you're not being consistent, it's because you're not managing your time. Like we all fill our time. You know, you've heard the saying, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And if you're not doing, like you're filling that time with something that can be exchanged for something else. Like no matter what, that time is getting filled. It's just how you manage it in terms of like, do you actually want to build a business or is this just kind of like a hobby? And so you actually need to decide that. Is this something that you're just interested in or is it something that you actually want to go for and have, you know, maybe it's just to help with the bills or maybe it's you want to do it full time, you know, whatever it is, figure out what your goals are. But is it just something that's interesting to you, that it's kind of like a hobby, or is it something that you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this, and you need to like draw a line in the sand and manage your time? There is no lack of resources. You know, maybe I don't like the things that I share is not everything that clicks with you exactly. I know for me, I hear things in a different way from somebody else and it just clicks for me more. And so YouTube, there are hundreds of thousands of trainings from top coaches on YouTube. There's the Beachbody Champions page. There's the National Wake Up Call. There is no shortage of resources in how to invite, how to follow up with people, how to track your business, how to X, Y, and Z, how to grow your social media, how, you know, there's no shortage of resources. It's just really a lack of resourcefulness. And with that, I was talking with my Team Cup girls and I was saying, you know, I watch a training every single day for the most part, but I don't let it like, I'm not just like an information junkie where I'm just gathering information and not doing with it. So I'll have a training playing while I'm following new people and growing my network. And if it's something that I'm like, ooh, this sounds tangible that I can add into my business, then I'll pause what I'm doing and I'll start taking notes on it. But I'm always listening to a training to see what else can I do? How can I get out of my comfort zone? What is something new that I can try that I haven't tried yet to get me over this hump and to the next level? I'm always searching for more and more resources to be able to build my business because this is my full-time business. And so I was talking with somebody else and, you know, if you have like a super crazy schedule, maybe you need to have a couple days where you send out massive invites and a couple days where you do follow-ups and you're breaking a couple activities up. But on the other days, you're still posting every single day. You're still, you know, staying on your own health and fitness journey, because if your health and fitness journey is failing, your business is failing. And if your mindset is failing, if you're not doing personal development, your business is also failing. So you have to work on you first and everything will fall into place as long as you're doing it consistently. That comes from managing your time, because I know you all, either you're in school or you have jobs or, you know, whatever it is, you all have stuff going on. And so maybe you need to wake up earlier, but working from a list is so key. And on top of working from a list is doing one task from start to finish. So you're not like, I'm just going to use cleaning for an example, and I've heard it from somebody else, but when I'm cleaning my house, usually cleaning my house for me means picking up Blair's toys. But so like I'll start picking up her toys in the living room and I'll start like cleaning the living room, but then I'll bring her toys to her toy room. Well, then I'm starting to clean the toy room and the living room is still only like half cleaned, right? So I'm only kind of sort of doing a lot of things and nothing actually gets fully cleaned. And so in your business, make a list and do the income producing activities first, right? Your workouts and personal development, I don't think should be on your to-do list. That should just be a no matter what, like muscle memory kind of thing, I hope at least. But sending your invites, follow-ups, and showing up on social media, those are three things that are like your income producing activities that are really non-negotiable. So make when are you going to do your invites? Write your to-do list for the day. And then when do you have free time? When can you break up that time? If you wake up a little earlier, can you follow new people while you're drinking your pre-workout or while your pre-workout's kicking in? Can you send some invites before or after you work out? When are you going to follow up with people? Really managing your time and when you're going to do things. Because I think for me personally, it's doing everything every day, but I also know that we don't all have the same hours in the day. So if you do need to send invites one day and focus on follow-ups another day because your schedule is so busy, then do that. And what does that look like for you? But 10 invites, in my opinion, is not enough, especially if you're not hitting Success Club. I think 100 invites, and I feel like that sounds like a lot, but that's really not a lot. We used to do, which I learned from Keisha Fitzgerald, it was the 11 and 22 challenge, where you send 11 invites in 22 minutes. It's just like racing against the clock to like see how many you can send out. Excuse me. So all these things shouldn't take you that much time. I know, I can't think of her name, but she used to be a teacher. And while she was teaching full time, she was only working her business in 2 hours a day. And she built a 6-figure income from only working 2 hours a day. But that's because she managed her time, whether, she was listening to personal development on her way to school, she was on her fitness journey, and she would plan out when she was going to do her invites, and she would do her invites first. And then she would do her follow-ups, right? Another thing is not answering messages on the fly. So if you're sending out invites and people are responding to you, that's great because you need that, but finish sending your invites first. So it's not like the house scenario where you're sending a couple invites and you're responding to people, and then all of a sudden you're like, crap, I ran out of time. You've only sent 5 invites because you're doing back and forth conversations with people. So do things one at a time from start to finish. When are you doing things? Write out. You don't have to get this journal to do this, and I know I've shared this so many times, but write out from like 4 a.m. to 10 p.m., whatever. This was a sleep-in day, so don't mind me. But I use this journal from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day before I even start drinking my pre-workout. I schedule out my day. When am I going to do follow-ups? When am I going to do invites? When am I going to grow my network and do that action hour? I also have playtime with Blair because I need to plan that out. I need to block off time to make sure. That's just how my life works. I also schedule time with Tyler because I don't think your relationship should suffer because of this. I think that your significant other, you should communicate with them what your goals are. So it's not just like if you are, following people or growing your network while you're watching TV, communicating with that with them, letting them know, hey, I'm just growing my network quick. This is part of my power hour. So just so you know, I'm not just like scrolling on my phone while we're hanging out. I'm just going to grow my network and then I'm going to put my phone down. But really communicate with that with them, so they're not like, oh, you're always on your phone, right? I think that's so important because I can't say it enough. I do not want your relationship to suffer because of this, and it absolutely should not. So communicate with them. What are your goals? I run this other group that's all about like reigniting the fire in your personal relationship with your spouse, totally not Beachbody related. But today I did a live video in there, and I was talking to them about being your spouse's biggest fan, in like really working together as a team. And I think that I think it's so important to share this with them. I know in the beginning for me, it was kind of weird because I didn't see a lot of growth in the beginning. I was also kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So I never wanted to share it with Tyler. I didn't want to share it with anyone because I was like, well, I'm not really successful. So it seems kind of like a hobby kind of thing. But then once I started to actually share it and I took it seriously and I actually started to treat it like a business is when it started to pay like a business. So just like, what we invest to become coaches is so insanely small compared to like building your own gym and like hiring employees and getting all the equipment. Like this $1 million investment, if you invested $1 million, you wouldn't like treat it like a hobby. You would treat it like $1 million business. And the thing is that this is $1 million business if you treat it like that and if you work at it like that. I know Nicole, she signed up 3 coaches in one day, which is so freaking awesome. And that comes from, showing up and inviting people. And I also want to give a shout out to Tia, who I know I've noticed has been posting more on social media. And it's so, you're not always going to get people coming to you just like flaunting to you. But the more you show up and the more consistent you are on social media in, what's the word I'm looking for? While you're also inviting, those things combined, inviting and following up. A lot of times when you invite people, like I know when people invite me to stuff, I will go look at their page. I don't just ghost people because maybe it's something that I actually could benefit from. I go look at their page and I see, and if they're not posting about it, I'm like, why? I don't even know what you're asking me to do. I have never even seen a post about it, right? So you have to be showing up on social media. You have to be. And so Tia has been sharing a lot of like her life and nutrition and that stuff lately. And I think that's a really, great start. I think posting on social media is kind of the scariest part. And I have so many people that are like, oh, I don't want to be that annoying person, or I don't want to XYZ, but like other people's opinions don't pay my bills. And if I let every time like somebody said something to me that hurt my feelings, if I like quit building my business because of it, I wouldn't have a business, right? But because I don't let that affect me as much, sometimes I get like pissed off and have a little pity party. Excuse me. But so you have to be doing all of the things. And so Melanie Mitchell has a really great time management video that I can share with you so you can get a better idea. But I just really want you to map out your day. What are your work hours? And just like, okay, I'm working from this time to this time and I can't work during this time. Maybe on your lunch break, you can say, okay, I'm going to send out 11 invites in 22 minutes. Or if you only have a half-hour lunch break, you can do personal development, or you can maybe do some follow-ups, or you can write a social media post. You don't always have to have the picture right away. Thank you, Blair. Dad's home. So, when are you going to do those things? If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And it's so true. You have to plan. You don't have to be organized. I am the least organized person on the planet. You do not have to be organized, but you do have to plan. You have to have some sort of plan. And you also have to be tracking your business. I'm not going to go into tracking because this is a whole nother call in and of itself. But if you listen to the National Wake Up Call, Moira was saying how, she writes down every person's name that she invites, and she felt like she was doing it forever. But when she looked back on it, she's like, oh, I only did 12 invites and I felt like I did like 20 or whatever, right? It's a numbers game. So that's why I think 10 invites a day is not going to cut it. I really think 100 invites a day to get you to leveling up, and planning out when are you going to do that, doing it from start to finish, doing your follow-ups, doing all the things on the business activity tracker. And if you don't know where the business activity tracker is to be able to go off of it, there's one in the file section of our team page that I think I put in there. But checking those boxes off every single day, and go and watch the last team call that I did on networking, or go find it in the Beachbody Champions page where she goes way more in depth than I did. But growing your business, growing your network, and adding people on Facebook, that's also something that it seems so small, but it's going to make a huge effect in your business because you need more eyes on your stuff. You need more people to invite. If you only go off the people that you're currently friends with or that are currently following you, you are going to run out of people, right? And so I've heard people say like, well, how are you finding more people? I'm growing my network every single day so that I don't run out of people. There's no limit to how many people follow you on Instagram or how many people you follow, right? That's why that's so much bigger than Facebook. But I am also on Facebook because it's not dead for me. Every time I post, I get a couple new people liking my stuff, and I start a conversation with them because they liked my stuff first. And so I'm spending time every single day, whether it's, honestly, some nights it's when we're laying in bed going to bed. That's when I grow my network if I didn't get it done in the day. But I'm always doing it, and I'm planning out my day. You have to plan out your day. Does anyone have any questions? I know this wasn't like quite not as many tangibles. So 100 invites a week, Stephanie. Yep. So I listened to a call once, or a podcast where Lindsay Matway, Lindsay Matway is the top earner in the entire company. She earns over if you, maybe you don't know this, but Lindsay Matway earns over $150,000 a week. Every single week she earns six figures. And I was listening to this call, and at the beginning of her business, she was talking to 100 people a day. So whether that was inviting them or starting a conversation, so she had to have been growing her network every single day on top of that, so she didn't run out of people. But it really is a numbers game. So inviting 100 people a week, and again, that means you have to be growing your business and you have to be showing up on social media so that you have new people looking at your stuff. And you know what? An invite could be as simple as, I started a mastermind with a group of people that are 2-star and above, just to bounce ideas off each other. And an invite could be something that's super casual and not a direct invite, where you message all the new people that follow you and say like, hey, Stephanie, thanks so much for following me. I'm a health and fitness coach, and my gym is doing these at-home workouts. If you have any questions or need any help with any of that, I'd love to help you. So it's like an indirect invite, but like letting them know, this is me, this is what I do, I hope you enjoy my feed, kind of thing. So that counts like 100 connections, you know. And then follow-ups, totally different. And follow-ups, I don't ever set a number on follow-ups, because the way that I plan my stuff is I write people down, and then I follow up with them 2 days later. So if they don't respond to my message, I'll follow up with them 2 days later still. And if they still don't respond, then I'm not going to follow up with them again. And then I'll maybe come back in like 3 months or something. And then when I come back to people, you know, I always have like a 2-day rule where like I'll wait 2 days to follow back up with them, do like a secondary follow-up. So follow-ups, I don't exactly have a number that I go off of, but if I'm in a crunch at the end of the month, I focus on following up with people, and I'll scroll through likes on my photos and my Facebook friends list and people who are watching my stories, and follow up with people who have been previously interested, because most people do not join you after the first invite. It's going to come from a follow-up. So for example, all the people that I invited today, I sent out 20 invites today, and I wrote them on a piece of paper, which is not in front of me, and I dated it for today. And if they respond, I circle them, and then I put them into Asana, which is my digital tracker, because I need it to be digital, because otherwise I can't organize it. And then, so today is what, the 28th? So on the 30th, I'll flip back to my paper on the 28th, and I'll go through all the people, and more than half of them did not even respond. And I'll just go to them and say, hey, Kelsey, just checking to see if you got my last message. I know what it's like to see something and then totally forget, right? Because so many people don't follow up with the initial invite, and people think they're just being spammed. And so I've had so many people, after I follow up with them, say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were just like copying, pasting, and never thought you'd actually follow up with me. I'd love more information. And so that follow-up, for me anyways, is a crucial part, and it takes writing down the names and tracking it so that I can come and follow up with them. And then if they still don't respond, then I don't put them on my tracker list. I'll just come back around to them at some point when I'm going through people, you know, my followers list to find more people to invite. I'll eventually invite them again. And it's just, I also just like to do 2 days later too. So it's not, so I give them a little time, because I do, honestly, I personally, I'll see a message and it's just a bad time, and I will forget to come back to it. Like, I honestly do that. And so I do give people the benefit of the doubt. And some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I did totally forget. I would love more information. And then some people are like, hey, I did see your message, but I'm just not interested. And that's okay. Then maybe I can start up a conversation about something, or, you know, maybe they have a gym membership. And if they do have a gym membership, I'm not going to try and convince them to come to Beachbody. I'm going to be their biggest fan, so that at least they're going to keep following me. And maybe someday I can invite them to coaching because they're on their fitness journey, or maybe someday they'll continue to watch my journey, and because I was a big fan of theirs, they'll say, you know what, I see you're crushing your journey, I would love to change up my fitness routine, right? So I think it's so important that if somebody tells you no, don't just like discount them and be like, okay, whatever, screw you, and not respond. I think it's so important to, validate. It's okay. Maybe start up a conversation and just be a kind person. I don't think that you can be a successful coach if you're not a kind person, if you don't actually care about people, which is how I treated my business in the beginning and why I never got anywhere, because I was just so copy pasted, never care about people, and never wanted to like actually get to know anyone. But honestly, through personal development, I've like literally transformed from the inside out, and like how I connect with people and all that. Nicole said, I send out care packages and people sign up, and it includes pre-workout sample, a beach bar, and then like chapstick or something. And if people are interested but didn't respond for a while, I say, hey, just so you know, I have a care package I'm sending out to those who sign up in January, and I know you showed interest. I don't want you to miss out on it, etc. Yeah, I think giving a deadline, and if I have a lot of people interested, I won't really offer anything. Or if I want to like try and vamp up the beginning of the month, I'll make a post saying like the first 5 people to sign up are going to get this. And towards the end of the month, as I'm just like trying to like just sign up more people at the end of the month, basically, I've been telling people like, I'm so excited. Just so you know, I'm going to be sending out a little goodie bag to everyone who signs up by Wednesday. And I say Wednesday because Wednesday is the last day of the pay period. And so I treat Wednesday like the end of the month. I treat every Wednesday like the end of the month because I personally am money motivated. So I know I get excited the more people I sign up by Wednesday. I'm like, yes, I'm going to see that tomorrow morning on my weekly paycheck. And so I'm always like, I'm going to send a goodie basket to everyone who signs up by Wednesday. And yeah, I also send out a sample of Energize, a beach bar. And then I got a bunch of these little like socket things for the back of your phone that people love. And just like random things. I've sent out like face masks before that are like $2 or whatever, just like nothing that's super expensive. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like a crazy expensive thing. And then, sometimes I'll do like a $10 Target gift card, and I have like thank you cards. I'll just like thank them, and people love that stuff too. Yeah, those are really, I'm glad we talked about that because those are really great tips. Let's see, does anyone else have any other? Yes, Tia. Yeah, absolutely. Also, just I'm a reminder that on every Tuesday, you need to be on mute. Hold on. Okay, I unmuted you, Tia. Go ahead.
Okay, this was just a really long question. I didn't want to type it out before you jumped off. So my biggest thing, because I know you said when you started that you're like negative your bank account, you jumped right in, everything was great. I want to know how you were able to put so much into this business, being in that position, since right now I'm currently going through working with creditors to get my credit card debt lowered. But every month, like in order to keep my PV up and keep my Shakeology, it's costing me more money, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. So how did you do that? How did you work it out?
Yeah. So honestly, in the beginning, I did skip my Shakeology some months, and there were some months where I only hit that 50 PV because you only need 50 PV to maintain your active status. And so just like a tub of Recover, whatever, but also selling more challenge packs. One, more money. Two, enrolling people and stuff helps keep you active as well. So in the beginning, I made my first 3 months, I made back what I invested. And it made back more than that and started to help me. But I was very in and out. Like I wasn't fully in. So I was in debt for quite a while, and I was still giving plasma, and I was still paying a lot of stuff with my credit cards. And I was taking out more loans and everything. And it wasn't until like we were pregnant with Blair, and I was like, I can't have a baby and like live like this. So for me, it took something that was literally my wall against the back kind of situation, my back against the wall type of situation, where I was like, I need to figure this out. And the first personal development book that I finally read, I didn't do personal development in the beginning because I was one of those people that was like, I don't need to be developed. Like I don't have time for this. And so I read, The Slight Edge. That was my first personal development book. And then also The Compound Effect. I read those two back to back, and they're kind of the same concept, but it really helped me personally to realize like, okay, I have to do these things consistently. I can't just, one day do invites and then not do them again until the following week, and one day post and not post again until next week. And that's kind of how I was doing it. I wasn't showing up every single day, and I wasn't inviting every single day. So therefore I wasn't signing people up every single day. And not that I sign people up every single day now. But because I was sharing more and I was getting results and I was showing up that way and I was inviting people and I was following up with people consistently, then I did start to make more, and I was making more than I was spending. But I did have to do some months where I delayed my shipment because I really could not afford it. So I don't want it to put you further into debt if it's just to stay active. In terms of like being Emerald and growing your business, that is really important, but it's more important that you're not going broke because of it. And, you're like putting in the work and like starting to build that up. Okay. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. So at 8 o'clock, so in half an hour, every Tuesday, actually at 8 p.m. Central Time, there's the Superstar Series calls where one of the superstars, 15 Star Diamonds, are doing some call that we're invited to. So I'll always share that in our team page. And so tonight, Julie Voris, she's like one of the top people who's had the most years as an elite coach or something like that. But tonight is like a Q&A session. So if you do have questions, it's a really great opportunity to get on a call with a top leader in the company, and to see like how she kind of does things. So I'll share that with you guys as well if you want to hop on. Of course, it will be recorded and I'll share the recording. So I'm sure it'll be really great things. But if you do have questions that you would love to ask like a top coach, I really want to encourage you to get on because it's a great opportunity. Okay. Other than that, so get on a Team Cup team if you're not on one. Super, super important to get out of your comfort zone and work with people, because in this business, it's not like a me business, it's a we business, even if it's not people who are on your team. And so that's why I love collaborating with other people that are not in the same organization as me, because when you're working with people who are all actually pushing and you want to help each other and encourage each other, everything just kind of flows and you build momentum and everyone builds momentum, and it's just like this ripple effect. So get on a Team Cup team. And if you need help finding one, let me know. And I would love to help you get on a Team Cup team. Plan out your day. If you haven't ever like written out the hours of the day and actually planned out your day, I really want to encourage you to do that tonight and just see how it goes working from a list and like having a schedule of when you're going to work your business. And so you're better managing your time, like with your significant other, with your work, with, X, Y, and Z, and then like also having downtime. And then, if you have any questions, go ahead and, you can comment below when I post the call. I'm also going to ask for team call topics that you guys would like to hear from so that I can start doing research and like bring the best that I can possibly to teach on said topics. So when I post asking that, I would love for you guys to comment on like what topics you would love to learn more about or get another training on. Other than that, that is all I have for you. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I hope you have a good rest of your night, and let's finish the month strong. Bye, guys.